What's up, guys? Welcome to Game of the Week here in the OMFL. Let me turn this down. I'm a little hot. I didn't mean for it to be so hot, but we're jumping in this one. This one started a little earlier than what we were all prepared for, and so I had to finish up some family stuff. And there you go. Minnesota gets the touchdown from Cook, and that's going to give them the 9-3 lead here in the second quarter. 6:43 in a pivotal NFC Central matchup. These two teams have been trading jabs back and forth. Yeah, pretty much all season.
6-point touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
There we go. I had to load that down a little bit. They've been trading plays back and forth all season, and this is a really big pivotal matchup. And Green Bay has really been fighting to make a little comeback here, and I'm hoping that we'll have some other friends come and join us here pretty soon. Turn this down just a little bit so I can hear myself think. I think Maniac is here with me, but for some reason, hold on, let me just change some settings here. We can't hear him.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
There we go. Now we got him in here with us. Just had to change some settings. What's going on, my friend? Now, we got the stream up. I think if you're watching the stream, you're going to be a little bit ahead, or a little bit behind. But if you're watching his stream, you should be right on time. So it should work out pretty well. We're jumping in again a little late because these guys started a little earlier than what we were ready for. And Green Bay is really, Green Bay has been known, Priest has been known that if he's going to be successful, he's going to have a rushing game. And I think so far this season, he's kind of struggled to do that. But you can see right here in this game already, the plan is to get that running game going. What is kind of your gut telling you? You liking the Minnesota Vikings in this? Do you think Green Bay has a shot? Because I personally think that Green Bay is going to have to play a perfect game if they're going to make this happen.
Yeah, I really think Priest and those Packers, he's going to really have to play a perfect game, like you said, but if Minnesota can't put him away, look for Priest to make one of those spectacular comebacks, because he always seems to get Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game and stuff, throwing those deep bombs, getting people open. So
yep, 2nd and 10 here at their own 48. Green Bay with the ball. Minnesota just finished scoring. Here goes Rodgers back to pass. Nice little pocket there, something that we've been able to get, and gets it over to Cobb with a nice first down there. Nice time for Rodgers to sit in the pocket and find his man.
Yeah, he got time to read the field, and anytime you give Priest and Aaron Rodgers time, it's going to be a bad situation for you.
It's so funny. We have a test franchise up that we're testing some sliders, and those sliders are actually a little lower than these, and it's a nice balanced pressure. But sometimes you just have those games where your O-line just blocks really well, and the guys seem to have a lot of time. Another run there for Jones off to the left, but that Minnesota Vikings defense is doing its job. They'll give it to them. 8 rushes for 57 yards there for the Packers already. That's a nice stat line for this early in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely he's given a concerted effort to get the rushing game going, and it's looked like it's proven to be pretty good. He's moving the ball right now. So
yeah, now last time we did this, super successful. Did it right there in the preseason where we were just kind of having a little warm up. We do them for the OMFL bowls, and then we're trying to pick a game. Nice little gain there to the right to their fullback. Rodgers 3 for 5 for 33 yards, but I would say that. One of the things that I think I'm going to kind of start doing here is I'm just going to call these things for real. And if I start seeing people like going a little too overboard with the zone or certain plays, I'm going to call them out on this stream. Here's Rodgers back to pass. 3rd and 3. It got his man. Cobb stepping up again. Nice pass there for Cobb. Cobb seems to be his #1 playmaker, the guy that he looks for. Little cover 2 zone blitz there out of the nickel formation for Minnesota.
Yeah, with that particular zone blitz that left the middle of the field wide open, and where there's an open field in the middle, Cobb's going to be there.
Minnesota stacking the box here on 1st and 10 from their own 26. 3:34 left to play in this one. Nice little run from Jones. I mean, with the stacked box there, again, he's got 9 rushes from 59 yards. Even with the all-out blitz, he falls for it for 2 yards, and it's a nice gain there for Green Bay.
Yeah, the line looks like they're getting a little bit of push, and if the way that this Madden seems to go, if he continues to do that, wear down that defense, the fourth quarter may be something that works in his favor.
2nd and 8 from their own 24. 3:03 left to play. Rodgers back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Nice little move there, but broken up at the last second. That one could have easily been picked off by Rose. That's a dangerous pass to make.
Yeah, unfortunately in this Madden, those are very dangerous passes. I mean, you have to have separation big time for that to be even considered to be thrown right now.
And he seems to really be leaning on Cobb in this one, which is not necessarily shocking or surprising. It's just you keep keying on somebody like that, you're gonna give up a big play. 3rd and 8 from their own 24. Rodgers back to pass out of the shotgun. He seems to have plenty of time. He's going off to the right. He's got it, but did he keep his feet down? He did. Cobb again. 3 or 4 catches here in a row now down to the 13-yard line. First down, Green Bay.
Yeah, he's feeding Cobb the ball, and if the Vikings get kind of a head up on this, if they start kind of moving the coverage to that side where Cobb is, it could be a big play for them.
1st and 10 from their own 13. Rodgers is going to hand the ball off. Jones had a hole for just a second, but it looks like that defensive tackle was able to get off in another cover 2. Guys really love that cover 2, especially here deep in the red zone. They're going to run that a whole lot. Linval Joseph gets off the block and gets a nice pickup of just 1 for Green Bay.
Yeah, cover 2 seems to be always the go-to in the red zone. I guess
here's Jones again, a nice hole right up the middle. He's going to get it. They give him the first and goal at the 2-yard line. My question I was going to ask you seen Green Bay rush to the line there, snapped it before the 2-minute warning. Do you normally lean to take it to the 2-minute warning, or do you like to snap it off before?
Well, if it's that close, most of the time I'll just let the 2-minute warning happen. But good call there by Priest.
Yep, nice little run to the left for the touchdown. That's going to tie this game up as long as he doesn't blow this. There you go, 10-10. Tied up here in the 2nd quarter. 1:56 left to play. Vikings will get the ball back here, so there's still plenty of time to make some plays.
Yeah, Priest has definitely got his rushing game going this game, so it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah, you got to give it to Green Bay. I mean, look, this game could have easily turned into a blowout when you give up a big play. You go down 10-3 on the road, but he showed no fear. He come out, he got that run game established. He started to attack the pass game. A really nice drive there for the Green Bay Packers.
Now let's see if his defense can answer and hold the Vikings here in the 2-minute drill.
Look for a lot of zone coming here. 1st and 10 from the 21 here in the Minnesota Vikings right before half. 1:53 left to play. Back to pass. Cousins got the man. He passed him up. He finally gets there late. That could have easily been picked off. Cousins is 6 for 6 for 119. A little late on that slant throw.
Just a tad. He's living with a little bit of luck there. So
1st and 10 from their own 32. 1:34 and counting to go. All 3 timeouts for both teams. Here's Cousins out of the shotgun. Little play action. He's got a man, but badly throws that one off. That one's going to bounce away. Injury timeout, though, for Green Bay. So he's going to stop the clock. Not good for that defense. He probably needs all those playmakers.
Yeah, that's anytime that happens. I don't know who got injured there, but it's definitely not good for Green Bay's defense.
Green Bay playing a lot of man defense here, and that almost paid off there. The tip pass bounces up in the air, but he's unable to make the play. Looks like he's going to get his left end back, though. So some muscle spasms. He should be back here pretty soon, at least after halftime. But guys love to run those double posts, and against man defense, that's usually pretty efficient, but not a good throw from Cousins. That's 2 bad throws back-to-back.
Yeah, both those last 2 throws were back shoulder or down low, and got to get that out there in front for the receiver to make a play on it.
This is 3rd and 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense.
All right, timeout for the offense. It's going to bring up a good 3rd and 10 here from their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, there was that long pause. I didn't know if they took a break and had a water break or something. Or...
I don't know what they were doing. I guess they wanted to figure out exactly what play they wanted to run. Looks like another man defense. Cousins, ooh, a big play. Nice grab there for the tight end, Randolph or Rudolph, whatever his name is. Massive gain up the right side. That's got to be Rudolph. There it is. A 49-yard play to Rudolph up the right side. 1st and 10 from their own 18. 1:14 and counting. He gets out of bounds. He saves the timeout and gets a really big play. So big play for the Vikings.
Yeah, the safety there went for the big play, knock away play of the ball there and missed, and it turned out to be a big play for the Vikings.
Murray tries to go off the left side, does the spin, and ends up getting hurt. So the Vikings are going to lose Murray. It's going to put just more pressure on their starting running back. He's going to have to really carry this team. Not sure who they have at the 3rd down running back, but they're going to have to come up with a plan here. Brings up 2nd and 8 from their 16. 1:09 to go. 1 timeout left to go.
Yeah, already down in the red zone, so you definitely want to be careful with the ball here, not turn it over because you've got momentum going back your way.
Down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be
a big 3rd and 6 here from the 14. 1:02 left to go. Vikings with a big play to Rudolph down the right side. Here's Cousins back to pass. He's got a nice pocket. He finds his man right there in the middle. He's going to get tackled, but it's going to get him inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line. The Green Bay Packers are going to pick up a timeout here and stop the clock to maybe hopefully get it back and maybe a field goal or something right before half. The Packers, though, are showing they're willing to run some man defense here. I don't know if it's because they're on the stream tonight, but they're running a lot of man defense.
Yeah, Priest does like that cover 2 and cover 3 a lot. So, but man defense is paying off for him, so he may stick with it.
Oh, a little pistol run there. It's going to get blown up in the backfield, and they're going to get the holding. They're going to decline that. It's going to bring up a 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. 52 seconds left to go. 1 timeout for each team left.
Yeah, that's probably a good play because when down closer to the end zone and stuff, the zones tend to be smaller, so it's harder to run plays down there closer, like within the 5-yard line. So that's probably a good play by Priest to decline that.
The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal.
I feel like we need some music going.
He's going to be met in the line of scrimmage, so 2 plays blown up back-to-back there by the Packers. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down here. This would be a massive win after giving up the big play to the right side if they can hold the Vikings to a field goal.
Yeah, if he holds them to a field goal here after giving up that big play to the tight end, it's going to be a huge moral victory for Priest, and I'm not sure who's going to get the ball first in the second half, but it definitely could work to his advantage.
3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. Vikings have the ball. 49 seconds left to go in the first half. Here's Cousins back to pass, so he's going to hand it off to Cook. Cook is not going to be able to get it in. He's going to get it down to the 4-yard line, a gain of 2. They're going to have to settle for the field goal. So the Packers are not able to stop the clock, or they are able to stop the clock. They use their last timeout, give up the field goal, which is a win for that defense after the big play.
Yeah, Priest is putting his chips in right now. He's going to try to get at least down the field and tie this up before halftime.
It's going to give the Vikings a 13-10 lead as halftime comes to a close. Here's the Green Bay Packers with the opening kickoff of the second half. It's going to get it down to the 23-yard line. That's where Aaron Rodgers and this offense is going to get started. look, one of the more dangerous things to have to face is against a team that has nothing to lose. And if you're the Packers, you got to go all in here. I mean, there's nothing to lose here. The Vikings are well in charge of this division, and if you're going to have a chance, you got to win this game. So you're all in.
Yeah, you got to throw out the kitchen sink in this one. You got nothing to lose, like you said.
Massive play there for Cobb. Gets it down to the 47-yard line. Cobb catches the pass. He fights off a couple of defenders. Little no huddle, probably. All right, the Vikings actually use a timeout. I thought we got to half. I was actually very wrong here. I'm calling plays that aren't actually there. It's 18 seconds left. I didn't realize that. But why are you taking a timeout if you're the Vikings in that situation?
I have no clue. I mean, to me, that's a bad mistake there by the coach for the Vikings, and that just lets Priest set up a different play. And by gosh, somebody covered Cobb.
Yeah, here's Rodgers back to pass right before half. He's going to get sacked, though. You can't take that sack. Man, you got to get rid of the ball. Everson Griffin with the sack, his 9th sack of the year, the 2nd sack for the Vikings on the day. And time is going to run out here at half. Now, I'm on the same page as the rest of this game. I lost my mind for a second there. But the Vikings are going to take a 13-10 lead here into halftime.
That's all right. I went right along with you, and I didn't even try to correct you, so I'm just as wrong on that one as well.
I was confused. I seen him running no huddle, and I was very confused by what was going on. It's because I was on the wrong time schedule. So 13-10, nice way to keep this game close for the Packers. You got to give them at least a moral victory for the first half of this game. They're going to return this kickoff. They're going to get it down to the 27-yard line. That was a weird little flop there. Down to the, refs are going to mark it at the 25, and that's where the Packers are going to start the second half. They're on 25, 9:54 to go, trailing 10-13 against the Vikings.
Yeah, I think a tight game like this plays into Priest's hands.
Yeah, I got to admit. Excuse me. Keeping it close here is making him a very dangerous team. KJ Wright's going to blow that one up in the backfield, though. That's going to be a stop of no gain. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers comes out to lead his team, trying to tie this game up or maybe take the lead. Rodgers back to pass on the play action. He's got a man, but he's going to get sacked. His left tackle did him no favors. Griffin gets back there again. His 10th sack on the season, but his 2nd of this game. And his 2nd in almost as many plays, like 3 or 4 plays there.
Yeah, I noticed with the play action pass with the rollout to that side, he didn't shift his line that way, and it just made an easy sack there for Griffin coming off the edge.
Yeah, and you're going against the grain. Rodgers going to have to throw across his body. That's a difficult throw to make. It's going to bring up 3rd and 19 here at their own 17. Rodgers back to pass. He's got plenty of time. He's going to try to go for Cobb again. Oh, no, not Cobb that time. But it is going to fall incomplete. Nice zone defense there from the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to bring up 4th and 19 as they punt the ball away.
Yeah, good defense there by the Vikings and using the protect the sticks portion of the game. That really helps out in that situation, long down situation.
Nice little punt return there. I think of 13 or 14 yards there, and that's going to put the ball 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And the Vikings have to go down here and score. If the Packers can somehow force a punt, that would be a nice victory for that defense.
Yeah, the defense is going to have to step up here. If they get down another 10 points, then it's going to be rush. Try to get back in the game.
Nice pass there right down the middle. Cousins steps up into the pocket. He makes the throw. It's like a Green Bay linebacker there. Went for the play, but completely mistimed it. He was completely out of position. They give up the big play to the Minnesota Vikings. Can bring up 1st and 10 from their 39. Vikings with the ball, winning this game 13-10 with 8:03 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that's one thing with the cover 2. If you do too many shifts and switching assignments, things, it can kind of mess you up.
And a big face mask there. And I got to admit, I'm going to be honest with you, I love this. Now, we've turned it down. I think it's at default 50. But if you start just wailing away at that strip button, you're going to get a face mask call, and I love that. Now there is a penalty for just hitting that strip pass or that strip the ball function button as many times as you want.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I mean, it's like anything else that we do here. You don't want it excessive, and guys tend to, you know, go stripping at that ball.
Yep, I love that there is a penalty for that now. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9 after a nice Green Bay stop in the backfield. Here's Cousins tossing it over to Cook to the left side. Nice hole there to go. Cook is get it down to the 10, inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. That's going to set up 1st and 10 after a nice gain of 11 yards. They catch the Green Bay Packers in a blitz, and they make them pay for that.
Yeah, that's one thing about those outside toss plays and stuff. If you can catch a defense in a blitz or pushing up the middle, you can get big gains, and that's exactly what the Vikings did there.
It's going to bring up 1st and goal here from the 6-yard line. Minnesota Vikings with the ball. Cook has been leading this drive along with Cousins. Here's the handoff to Cook. He's got a nice hole. He's going to get it down inside the 2. The ref's going to mark it at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, hard running there by Cook, and I look for him to go ahead and feed him the ball again this next play.
Yeah, they've done a good job here of turning their attention back to Cook, feeding the young second-year man who's got tons of speed. He can really make plays, but you got to feed him the ball. It's a big play coming up here. 2nd to go from the 2 for the for the Minnesota Vikings. Right up the middle, and Cook is going to fall just short. It's going to get him down to the 1-yard line. Nice defense there. That Green Bay Packer run defense is trying to step it up here.
Yeah, this is going to be a pivotal 3rd down play here.
Yeah, massive 3rd down play. So 3rd and 1 from the goal line. Here's Cousins with the toss to the left, and he's going to get in there. Those tosses are so tough to stop. Even with a cover 2 zone there, really, really difficult to stop if it's blocked well, and that one was blocked really, really well.
Yeah, Priest didn't help out his cause, pinching the line there that gets all the outside contain inside, and that's a walk-in.
You have to kind of at least be aware of that, right? If they try to up the middle twice and you stop them both times, you got to be looking for that quick pass, that slant, or that toss, or something of that nature is probably going to be coming your way. Big touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to take a 20-10 victory or lead here in the 3rd quarter. 5:29 left to play. The Green Bay Packers going to have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 23. They have to go get them a touchdown here.
Yeah, let's see if Priest gets back to running the ball, kind of a little bit of ball control, give his defense a little rest, and then hopefully he can get down and score.
Yeah, nice run right there, right up the middle. But the Minnesota Vikings, again, 3rd drive in a row, starting this drive off with 8 men in the box. I don't like to see that. I don't like when guys start leaning on one thing or another. But he's definitely trying to show that he's willing to stop that run game. But he's better be careful. He's going to give up some plays to Cobb.
Yeah, anytime you start boxing up the box with 8 guys, Priest is looking to go over the top.
Nice hard run to the left side by Jones, man. 12 yards. He's got 96 on the day with 12 carries. That's a really nice run game for the Packers, and that makes that Packers team all the more dangerous. When Priest has a good run game, we know he can win ball games.
Yeah, Jones has really stepped up. I mean, that is some good stats there for this game, and the Vikings defense is nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure.
Now, another big hole right there off the left side. It's going to be 5 yards for Montgomery on that play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 from the 49-yard line. 4:11 left to go. Green Bay Packers have the ball, trailing 10-20 with the Minnesota Vikings. Priest is really in a flow here. He's been in a nice, balance and a nice flow all game.
Yeah, I'd say look for the play-action pass here, probably within the next few plays from Priest.
Here's Rodgers back to pass, a nice pocket. He's got a man. Allison's going to catch the ball, but he's going to be short of the 1st down. only 3 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1, so they actually gave him 4 there. So the big 3rd and 1 down coming from the Green Bay Packers here on their own 47-yard line.
The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, it has to be either Jones or Cobb here, I think, with the call on this play. So,
well, big play here. It looks like a tight end in the backfield at fullback, at least a tight end regular number. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's Jones right up the middle. The Vikings defense swarms him, but still enough for the first down. 15 carries for 94 yards for the Green Bay running back, and a big first down there for this drive.
Hard-nosed run there up the gut, and way to get the first down and keep the drive alive.
That's your kind of football, too.
It is. I love that drive down the field and take your shots when
First
you get it.
First and 10 from the 45. Here's Rodgers with a fullback fake, tosses it out to Montgomery. Doesn't really go anywhere, though. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. What I would find interesting is Priest using a slower tight end as a fullback on this team, or does he have a fullback that has a tight end number? I don't know. We may have to go do some investigating there, because this number 85 has been in the backfield pretty much all game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You never know about Priest.
You never know. Priest is spreading them out. Here's Rodgers. He's going down the field. He's got a man, but it's going to be broken up. Good man defense there for the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to knock that one away. Number 41 with a big play. That was Harris. Nice play there, blocking that one away. It's going to bring up 3rd down from their own 44. 2:05 left to go in the 3rd quarter, trailing the Minnesota Vikings 20-10.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Priest went deep on that one, because he had at least 2 routes underneath the middle of the field that were wide open for a first down. So
Rodgers back to pass. He's got time. He better get rid of it. He does get rid of it, and it gets knocked away at the last second. That's a big drop. He had some pressure, though, but plenty of time to let that play develop. That's a big, big drop for the Green Bay Packers. They're going to give the ball back to Minnesota off of a drive that he really needed to get some points.
Yeah, with that drive stalling out like that just puts more pressure, because you're looking at the 4th quarter coming up.
It's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 20. 1:54 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Minnesota Vikings are leading the Green Bay Packers 20-10. And here comes Cousins leading his team down. Handoff right over to the right side. The Green Bay Packers have done a pretty good job of stopping or stifling that Minnesota Vikings run.
Yeah, he's been in the backfield quite a bit. When it's been needed, though, the Vikings have been able to get the running game going, but the Packers have been there to answer too.
Here's Cousins, a nice little pass to Kendall right down the middle. Not enough for the first down. Cousins is 11 of 13 for 210, so a pretty efficient day for him. He hits that quick slant. It's going to bring up 3rd and inches on their own 30-yard line with 1:02 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Priest calling all these cover 2s, that the middle of the field is wide open like it has been.
Here's Cousins with the toss over to the right. Cook's got plenty of room. Nice block on the outside. He almost sets up. He does get the next block with the spin move. So a big play of 30 yards down the right side for the Minnesota Vikings, as Cook is so dangerous. The Vikings sell all out, and it leads them majorly exposed to that toss play to the right. That's a gutsy call from that Green Bay Packers defense, and it burned them.
Yeah, he went out with the engaged 8, and he had the strong side on the weak side of the offense, and it paid off for the Vikings.
So Cook getting a spell rest after that big play gives it off to Henderson, who doesn't really find any room. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9, but the 3rd quarter here is going to come to a close with the Minnesota Vikings leading the Green Bay Packers 20-10. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 at their own 40 with the ball. The Packers defense has to make a stop right here. This is the place that you can force a punt, not allow any more points, and at least give yourself an opportunity. It's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, they're going to have to step up here, because if the Vikings get any more yards, they'll at least be in field goal range, and they'll go up by 13 points there. Or I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Now, if they get the field goal, it'll put them up 13, and being up 13 is much more different than being up 10. Here's Cousins back to pass. Nice pocket. No real pressure. He gets a little pressure there. Takes off running. He's going to dive down. Dangerous play. Gain of 7 yards there for the Minnesota Vikings. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3, but a dangerous play not only to fumble the ball, but Cousins gets hurt, and your season might be over.
Yeah, that's living dangerously right there with your quarterback. And how many times have we seen that be a fumble and a complete change of the direction of the game?
Twice in my game versus Atlanta where I hit the slide button too late. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down here. 3rd and 3 from their own 33. Cousins back to pass. Ooh, the pocket's going to close down, but he's able to get it out quickly. Ooh, he almost scores. He steps out of bounds right at the 16-yard line. 18-yard gain there for Diggs. And again, the Green Bay Packers are selling all out on these 3rd down blitzes.
Yeah, selling out, and Cousins getting just the right amount of time to get it out. And if Priest had went with a conservative tackle instead of the strip there, he might have held him to a little bit less.
What a run there for Cooks. He takes it off to the left side. He gets caught up in some traffic, breaks out, gets caught up in traffic again, and with one spin move, gets it down to bring up a 2nd and 1 at the 7-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings. The Green Bay Packers need a play right here.
That was an impressive run. He got stuck, looked like he was going to get kept the minimum yards, and he got out of it in a big gain.
Yep, Henderson's going to take it in from 7 yards out for the touchdown. It's going to make it 27-10 here for the Minnesota Vikings. And that's going to make this much, much, much more difficult to come back. That's now a 3-score game with 8:21 left to play. And against this Minnesota Vikings defense, that might be too tall of a task to ask the Green Bay Packers to take place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to count Priest out because I know he can seem like he can get the hot hand and air it out and gain a lot of points quickly. But this is getting borderline, I think, getting almost out of hand here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree just a little bit, just because I think what makes Priest so deadly when he's the most efficient is when he can have that balanced attack and you're not quite sure what he's going to do. There's no question about what he's going to do here. He's going to have to pass. He's going to have to pass early. He's going to have to pass often to get some big plays. There's a run for Jones over to the right side. So the clock is not your friend when you're down by 3 scores. 2nd and 9 from their own 25. 8:04 left to play. And tick, tick, tick. It's going to keep going against them.
Yeah, probably not the best play call there. But, I mean, he's definitely going to stay with the run. Looks like he's going to keep the defense honest, and we'll see how it pays off for him.
Jones misses a big play to get out of bounds there. The DB actually stopped running. He did get the 1st down, but the clock also continues to tick. You're going to have to keep these passes big, quick, but also get out of bounds and save that clock. It's the only way you're going to have an opportunity here. 1st and 10 from their own 33. Here's Rodgers leading his team out. 5 straight completions, they say. Rodgers with a pitch out to Jones. He's got good blocking. He better get this one out of bounds. Over to the 46, 47-yard line. 7:02 left to go. Nice run by Jones. Gives him 100 yards on the night. But again, Maniac, that clock is not your friend.
Yeah, it's taken away, and we're already under 7 minutes now left to go. And but I mean he's staying with the run game, so he's at least keeping him honest right now. So
Rodgers again handing off again to Montgomery. Montgomery with a nice run. He almost breaks that one through. He's going to get it down to 33, 1st and 10. But again, this clock is just going to keep running. You're down under. Yes. It's going to be under 6 minutes before this next snap.
Yeah, it's just tick, 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 tick. And, I don't know. Maybe this is the spot where Priest looks for a play action pass. I don't know.
1st and 10 from their own 33. Here's Rodgers with the play action. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's got a man. Lewis out of the backfield, so I guess he is a fullback. But again, tackled inbounds. You got to get that ball out of bounds. Give me 4 less yards, but stopping the clock as I got out of bounds, than getting 3 extra yards and keeping that clock running. You're now under 5:34 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the way the Vikings have been moving the ball, it's going to be a tall order for that defense to stop him if he gets a score here.
Cobb with a nice reception down to the 15, but again, tackled inbounds. Now we're going to see some no huddle. A couple plays too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, he probably needed to start the no huddle about 2 minutes ago. So
nice run there for Jones, right up the middle. A big touchdown run there of 17 yards, and that brings it to a 17-27 victory. I keep saying victory. I don't know why that word's stuck in my mouth, but a 27-17 game here with 5:08 left to play in the fourth quarter. Now we get to see what the Green Bay Packers are going to do, and they've been selling out, and they've been getting burnt by that. The clock is against you. You're going to need a big play here on defense.
Yeah, the Vikings have been anticipating him coming into the all-out blitz, so he's either going to have to maybe do a zone blitz or something and kind of maybe fake out that offensive play calling of the Vikings and see if he can maybe create a turnover.
But even if you save yourself 2 more minutes on that last drive, this game looks completely different when it's 10 points with 7 minutes to go than 10 points with 5 minutes to go.
Yes, yeah, it does, and that's. I mean, 5 minutes with you got to get 2 scores, but anything can happen.
Henderson with the ball carry off to the right side, a gain of 4. The spin move looks to be very effective for the Minnesota Vikings. He tends to lean on it every single run play. To me, if that's going to happen, you're going to have to go conservative, and you're going to have to stay away from the big hit and just conservatively tackle them and make sure that you stop him.
Yeah, and again, Priest is going with that SWAT mechanism, for the strip, and that tends to seem like it affects the defensive guys, how they react to that spin.
And Thielen with a big pass play wide open. How do you leave that man that wide open when you're this late in the game?
Yeah, I don't know what he was calling there. It looked like cover 3 cloud maybe, but yeah, that's a big play there in basically the slot there for the Minnesota Vikings. So,
yep, carry off to the left side from Henderson. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 here from their own 43. 3:50 to play and counting here in the fourth quarter. The Minnesota Vikings are leading the Green Bay Packers 27-17.
Yeah, he has to get a stop here. If Minnesota gets a first down, it's pretty much
ball game.
Ball game, yes, sir.
Yeah, you can't even let anything happen here. You gotta stop this drive. Cousins back to pass, so they're still passing again. He's gonna go right over the middle. He's gonna pick up the first down. Fights for more yards, and that's gonna do it right there. Gain of 19 yards. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 38. Diggs with a big reception, fights for some yards. I think this one's over.
Yeah, I think we can call this one done. I do err on caution there with the Vikings. Do not fight for more yards because Priest is going for that strip. So.
Yep, 27-17 lead for the Minnesota Vikings. 2:37 left to go on their 29-yard line. 2nd and 1. They've had a nice run game. Both of these teams have really established the run game today, but the Minnesota Vikings were just a little bit more consistent on offense.
Yeah, and this game with the score and stuff, this is a nice game, I think, with the OMFL showcasing kind of the sliders and stuff, because there is some offense, there is good defense, and it's just real well-rounded slider set that I think you've got set up.
Yep, I think that there's still some minor tweaks that I'd like to do, but I need to do more testing in the Test CFM. So if anybody's watching this, make sure you go check out that Test CFM and yeah, let us know what you think, because we would love to add in one last small little tweak, but I do think that it's very, very close. 3rd and 4 for the Minnesota Vikings. 2 minutes left to go with the ball here in their own 32-yard line. Here's Cousins with the delay. Shotgun handoff right up the middle. first down. And even the dog, the fat lady is singing. The dog is singing. Even the dog knows this one's over.
The dog is howling and saying, this is what he's telling the Vikings, though. Be careful. Do not get your star players hurt. Put in the backups, whatever you need to do. Just don't get your star players hurt at this point.
Yeah, there's no reason to even be running this ball. I kind of hope that he gets a little injury just so that he'll learn to stop being a jerk. There's no reason to run this ball here. You should be nailing it out, running this play out. I know that Green Bay's using their timeouts, but even if they use their timeouts and you're nailing the ball, you can run this one all the way down, punt the ball, it's game over. Yeah, there's just kind of no need for it.
Yeah, and that's I think Priest, he's got that competitive side too. He's wanting to get the ball back and try to make something happen, but I think in this situation, it's just
It'll take one knee injury for Cook, and he'll learn to stop doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I can promise you, you're not nailing it out with me. I'm going to turn everything on aggressive, and I'm coming after you to teach you a lesson because you deserve it. A really good game here for our second, or was it our third? No, our third. That's right.
Third one.
Because I did the last one by myself. But yeah, not a bad game. It went by really, really fast, though. This one seemed to be a quick one as these two teams were really on fire offensively and kept that clock a-churning.
Yeah, I think with the rushing attack that was being shown in this game, I think the clock just went by really quick, but it was a good showing by both sides.
What do you think about the Minnesota Vikings? Are they a top team here in the NFC, a top 2, top 3, a top 5? Like, what do you think about them?
From what this game shows stuff, I think he has potential to be a top 5. It's going to be interesting to see, though, if he plays guys like Big Hurt and the Atlanta Falcons owner before the season is done with, and he seemed to have a lot of struggle with double null as well when he has played him. So, maybe he's kind of one of those guys that he plays a game and he wins the ones that he shouldn't, and he loses the ones that he should. Anyway, it's just, I think he's a top 5 player, but it's going to be interesting to see how he does against some of these other top squads.
What are your playoff predictions for both of these teams? What do you think is going to happen as this season 80 comes to a close?
Unfortunately, I think this game is pretty much going to kind of put Priest on the outside looking in. I think there's a lot of other teams that are ahead of him that got wins today that are in the playoff hunt. And, it's, I think with the Vikings, I think this has pretty much set them really strongly in the driver's seat there in the NFC North. And I look for them to make a playoff appearance for sure.
Do you think that they can represent the NFC in the OMFL Bowl 80, though?
I don't think so. I think we're probably at this point in the season we're either looking at Atlanta Falcons or the 49ers. I think representing the NFC, and you can't ever count out Mr. Mo with the Seahawks.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us, for Maniac. Thanks for doing this with me, my buddy. This was always enjoyable. Even though this one was a little fast, I'm going to quickly wrap it up, though, because Priest has his music on, and we're going to get a copyright on YouTube, and I don't want that copyright. So, Maniac, say goodbye to all of our friends.
Later.
Guys, have a great week. God bless you, and peace.